Might have to cancel the live tonight because I don't have a back scratcher. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Crypto is booming. Yeah, man. I was gonna put on my Happy New Year hat again, just to start the new year all over again. For crypto, since we went up and we booming. All right, y'all give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. I got my crypto doggy here. She can sniff out a rug pull or a fake project, scam project, or a piece of sausage from about a mile away. So, see the doggy? Get it. She ain't worry about that. My wife went to get her hair done, and you would think the dog was being tortured and its nails pulled out. As she screams at the back door. What's going on, guys? What's the haps? See that my internet looks really, really, really slow for some reason. That's great. Am I stuttering for y'all? Bought a dip. Man, I bought the dip so many times, I own the dip company. Trying to see what's going on with my speed. Oh, it came up now. I had a bunch of drop frames and red and all kind of stuff, but it looks like it's caught up. So hey, we're back. All right, guys. Yeah, man. And then I don't know if y'all saw my post on Discord, but it seems like I've been watching some YouTube videos and Bitcoin goes up a couple of $1,000 and everybody thinks we're back and this is it. This is the first of the year run and we ready to go. Go hit the like button for me. Yeah. Oh man. Just catch up on Discord again. My Discord was kind of dead. It's dead if I got the 2 warning messages back to back. I think they're like 12 hours apart, 12 or 24, 12 hours apart. And there was no messages in between. I'm like, I heard about this like in the last bear run, what are they gonna call it, bear market, or when things slow down and things are going sideways, how the Discords slow down, YouTube slows down. I've lost about 100 subscribers in the last 45 days, but what can I do about it? I know I have been doing a lot of videos, but what do you want me to do videos on? I know how the YouTube algorithm works. And if I continue to do videos, even if they're crappy videos, the YouTube algorithm will push it out to more people so they can see it. But I'm also a little bit about quality. I haven't completely turned to the dark side yet. So part of me is like, I don't really want to put out videos for the sake of doing videos. And I mean, there's only so many videos you can put out about Wingbits and Mass Chain and 4D Sky and 375Go, and 4 just becomes the same usual, maybe Wingbits will have some news soon that we can, no pun intended, hang our hat on, maybe just a gentle push. I don't know. And some of our usual friends and stuff aren't in the Discord lately. And, we're all family, man. And it's disappointing because I know why, one of them's not here, and it's very disappointing, but there's nothing you can do to change that. You're not gonna make people think different. And then you got another one who I also have, a lot of respect for, who thinks DPIN's dying and DPIN and crypto's over with, and that's kind of disappointing. So it is what it is. Replaced my WB200 PSU, and it's back online for a few days. B13, howdy, I appreciate it. Roar says buy the dip earlier, and I said I bought the dip so many times on the way down. I own the dip factory now at this point. Sour cream and onion all day. Yep, I mean the bull run is back. I'm already got my bourbon, and I'm just like, let's just get toasted during this live. Just celebrating. This is a practice run for Wingbits TGE sometime between now and Christmas. We're just gonna start practicing. Bitcoin's back, baby. Look, when you do it like that, it looks even better. This is the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart. Up 94, up 5,000. It looks good. Now, can we keep this momentum going? Are they going to manipulate it again? Are people going to start opening longs thinking we're going 100? Are people opening shorts to see if trying to short the market? That's where this manipulation game comes in. Just remember, if you're going to play those games, use stop losses, take profits, put those safety mechanisms in place. I haven't been drinking yet, I swear. I just can't speak for some reason. Now I'm guessing I got an echo. So I can hear it. How about that now? Roar, I'm here for the long haul too, buddy. I will say, I tell y'all all the time, I don't put this up that much anymore because I don't think about it, but y'all should know by now. Let's see, where's it at? I don't talk about as much, but I have in the last 2 weeks, I have consolidated. Now, look, and I told several of y'all, if y'all paid attention in my lives and in my monthly or my Monday videos or Tuesdays, whatever, I told y'all I was taking some of these crap tokens and these crap projects, and I was just consolidating them. And I slowly started doing that. Silencio, I'm about 75% out of. Now, I'll still do the raffle tickets, which I haven't did my raffle tickets yet. Hey, we can do them live if y'all really want to sit here and watch it and see how much we made for the month on raffle tickets. I took some Nadix out, but the thing with Nadix is even though you're not staking it. And I never entered a stake. When you try to cash out your natives, they want to hold it for 30 days for some reason. I have Sword Chain. Sword Chain, I was getting out of that staking also. And I don't know how much more I have left. Let's see. I have 12 days left for my staking countdown for Sword Chain. I have 87,000 tokens. I don't even know if they're rewarding anymore, depending on who you listen to on their Discord and stuff. Like I still run, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about earlier. Also, is I didn't mention that in my video that got released this morning. Is while I am down on some of these projects, we all know what's going on with Sword Chain, Demo. So I'm still running them. You know, I looked at earlier is I don't even know if like the stupid cat in the box one and junk corn, I don't know what the hell they're doing. But yet I still got them plugged in behind me at ESP32s. So I don't know. So let's see. Sword Chain, and I have get the out of here. I've run Sword Chain now for how long? How long have we been in Sword Chain since it came out with the minis? It's been 2 years, almost 2 years. And I got $23 to show for it. That can't be right. 87,641. I mean, you're down 50% just in a month. I don't know if that's from the minis and they're not rewarding the minis no more, but yeah, that's about right. Jesus Christ. I mean, and I still run the dash camera, but I don't even know if they even paying us for the dash camera. This is sad. That's disgustingly sad. So I don't know if I'm here for the long haul on Sword Chain. That's for damn sure. That's bad. Damn, I can't even look at it. I'm too fat for my chair. The chair slowly goes down as I'm talking. So what else? So I got rid of some Demo, Weather XM, maybe some 375. I consolidated it all, and I bought Solana at about $132, maybe something like that. Probably about $135, $136. And all I've been doing is when it got up here to these 143, 144 levels, hey, it wasn't huge profit, but when you have 7 or 8 Solana, non Solana, whatever it was a little over $1,000. I was just playing this game where I just sold. So even if I made, $7 per token times 7 tokens or 8 tokens, that's $56. And I would sell it and buy it again. So I mean, I wish I would have did that back when it was $120, but and that's how you see my little marks right here where I would set my alerts for Trading View. And when it got to down to certain levels and stuff, I would sell. Then I would sell when it got to certain levels, buy it back when it got to certain levels. And hey, even if you're making $10 to $15 a day, that's still more than I'm making in deep pen projects right now. And then you're taking that profit and compounding it and rolling it back over. So here's what it is. Go look at Hive Crapper. Well, I'm so glad I canceled that. I wanted to stay in that so bad just for y'all so I could update it as a project and stuff like that. Here's another one. 7 cents. I will say though, for the month it's only down 13%. So I guess it's had its big fall already. I mean, how was that 15 cents almost at one point? 25 cents. And then down to 0.0079. Its all-time high was 43 cents 3 years ago. I didn't realize it was been out that long. And I can't answer this for Hard Mapper, but I look at Demo and I'm like, are they even making an effort anymore? When back it was in August, July, August, when they were trying to push subscriptions, and you had what the founder, the guy in charge of the company, was out there on social media and Discord, and he was pushing the hell out of it, pushing the hell out of it. Mum's been the word. Like, did they just give up, or with Demo? That's just another sad story. Like, I got out of it. I'm still rocking with it. I'm still using it. I still got 5 devices, but down 90% for the year, from 13 cents to 1 cent, which you're making about 47, let's just say 49. So that's what, 7 tokens a day. So you're making 9 cents a day with Demo. Now, if you're not paying for a subscription like I'm doing, and you're just sitting back and letting it just ride around your vehicle, you don't care, because I still have a year left on my subscription for all of my macarons. So I'll let them sit in my car for the next year. What I'm more worried about is more and more helium devices are getting turned off. That's probably what anybody wants to say. We're going to talk about that in a minute with the mobile side. But like right now, I have the only helium around where I live at within 7 or 8 miles, meaning my kids' devices, my wife's devices. If mine goes kaput, I might have to pull one probably from another spot, because nothing else is going to cover it. And if I don't have something covering here, then my wife and my daughter's one will never show online again. I guess that's part of the downfall of the decision I made to run it on the Helium network. I don't know. Then we saw somebody shared it with us earlier. Let's see if I can find it so I can give him props. 619. 619's been he has, maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to wear a grumpy crown, like make a crown, the grumpy crown, or a tag, and each month we'll give it to a new grumpiest person on the Grumpy Discord. So January, it's kind of a tie between Who Farted and 619, but I guess since Who Farted is not even around, it'll be 619. So 619 gets it, but this is for those who haven't seen. Those are still in Helium. Look, me and 619 go way back, because we were all messing with Helium back. I don't know, dude. How long ago was that? 6 years ago? 5, 6 years ago? 7 years ago? 2021, right before Ida, huh? Hurricane Ida. Oh, that's 5, 6 years ago. Jesus. But anyway, so I saw the writing on the wall. I still have people telling me I was wrong, but after what happened with the IoT side, I was not trusting Helium on the mobile side. But hey, they came out with this great cellular plan, so I sat here and I had to sit here and just keep my mouth shut and eat crow, because everybody said how great the Helium plan was. And if you get the phone, you get all these bonus tokens, and you get $5 unlimited for lifetime and all the stuff like that. At least that's what I'm being told, was that this was supposed to be lifetime. And now Helium has changed it. I'm thinking about doing a video on this, just because I need ideas for videos. And I'm taking notes, because tomorrow when it's time to do a video, I'm gonna be like, I don't know what to do a video on. Helium video on new cell plan. So what happened was they've gotten rid of the early access $5 and $10 plans, and will no longer be supported on Helium Mobile. Prior to this data date, the following exclusive promotions are available to choose from right within the Helium Mobile app. So I don't know if those are advertised online somewhere where I can go look at it, but this is another change they got going on. They changed the decision on, they're not going to burn, was it the data sale strictly on the mobile side, or what, those data credits that are being used on the mobile side. A lot of people did not like that. I guess he felt that the price wasn't moving enough for him, so he felt that wasn't working, so he's going to change it. Man, the market's down, period. But then you got some people, and I don't want to start too much mess with this, but certain people with other projects trying to say, well, I kind of agree. Burning don't work. So what, you just gonna keep the token, keep the money from what the daddy is selling and just keep it in y'all's coffers and do other crap with it? Like, that's BS. Hey, yo, hold on 1 second for me. All right, guys, I need all y'all to be a witness. My wife comes in here and beats me with a spoon. I accidentally locked her out the house. So guess who's got the new grumpy crown? 619 lost his grumpy crown already. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Hey, it's just habit. You know, you come home, normally everybody's in the house, you lock the door, the back door. I went and put the trash out and stuff while I was cooking. And I locked the door and thought I heard something banging on the back. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Oh well. So anyway, so Helium Mobile. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know how many of y'all were using it. There's only 10 people in here right now. Were y'all really ever using helium? I think other than what Miami and New York or something, maybe Los Angeles. How many people were actually using Helium Mobile? They've pivoted off of this to cellular offloading, which has been mildly successful. I won't say it's not. I know from fact, because I know some pretty high up people at AT&T / FirstNet, and they don't hide the fact that they try to offload from their network any way possible. Like they beg people. This isn't just them. This is the Verizon people also that I know, but they make it no secret that any opportunity that they can get, they're offloading their network. So that's one reason why I really don't 100% dismiss all these projects that do cellular offloading and stuff like that, that as long as it's automatic, where some of these things you had to do something with your phone when you went to the coffee shop and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that. But, you know, I really wish this Helium just would have stayed with the IoT side. I think they had a decent thing going, especially with 900,000 miners. Now they got, last I looked, over a higher end of 200,000 still online. I think people don't talk enough about the fact that, excuse me, guys, you've lost 600,000 miners. I think that says something. But even with me, I mean, I had 30 miners at one point. I think I'm down to 14 maybe. I know I was at 17, I lost like 2 or 3 back to back to back, and I'm not resurrecting them. At one time, you can get them pretty cheap on eBay. I'm not even messing with that. I try to like at least get the pie out of it. If that don't work, I lost. I've been working on it. Nebra outdoor miner, and I was hoping I can get this back working. It is completely kaput. Like it is non-functional. No matter if you try to use PoE or you try to use a regular power injector, it is completely, because these supposed to be work great for mesh networks, Meshtastic and stuff like that, where you can take the board from Meshtastic and this is a Pi right here, and this is a Meshtastic board, and supposedly you can just on this Nebra, you can pop this part off and you put the board on top of it. But I can't get this operating. So like I don't know what happened to it. It had surge protectors on it and everything like that, but it's DOA. And I'm trying. I'm really trying to get it back working. Oh, so yeah, it can. Oh, so let's back up. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, you see the Helium news? Go read all the socials and jumping ship. Never see 40 cents anymore, just like we never see $3 H&T. Come on, man. Don't see that. I'm hoping for at least a $4 H&T. Too freaking long ago. Yeah, they nerfed the Unum 20 plan. I was on and even the free tier. I got a free helium line for one of my nephews. They're charging taxes. I got an ad right now. So just think, I get the ads just like y'all get the ads. So some of y'all, and I don't know who it was. I'm sorry, guys. Like I do pay attention when y'all DM me and stuff, but I talked to so many different people about so many different projects. But weren't some of y'all? It might have been 619 using. What was it? J Styles. One of y'all was using. Both of y'all. The helium plan on a MiFi or some type of hotspot for the unlimited plan for some of y'all deep end projects, weren't y'all? So what's going to happen to that? Remember when helium told us there were 4 million hotspots in order? I don't remember that part, but I do remember even when we we're at 900,000, we were panicking because we kept being told that there was more makers coming online, more people doing stuff. And again, this is one of those hindsight things that I guess, I need to wear my Captain Obvious hat. But, I've said this a couple of times and we've talked about it, but one reason that token went from last time $2 or $3 on what it was when I got into it in 2021, whatever it was, and jumped to 40 or 50 is because all those manufacturers had to pay, was it per device, a license per device? Was it $10 onboarding fee or something like that? I think they had to pay the onboarding fee for each one, but they also had to pay something to be able to make those miners, correct? So all that was going into, I guess, their burn mechanism, DCs, whatever you want to call it, which was propping up that token, which is, hey, it's the way it's supposed to work. It wasn't like it was a scam, it was the way it's supposed to work. But you notice that with 900,000 and people weren't really manufacturing anymore, and they weren't onboarding anymore, that's when that token really started to fall. And I kicked myself in the ass because the amount of tokens I got, you're like, man, I just hope it gets to $40 again. I hope it gets to 35. Or maybe I don't want to sell right now. It's at 30. It might go back to 35 or then 20, then 10. And now you're like, give me $30 again. Let me at least double from where I'm at now. I think right now I got maybe $2,500, $3,000 worth of helium, and I just can't bear to sell it, even though I might be an idiot because it might be 75 cents next week after this news, and I'm gonna kick myself in the butt. But hey, that's me in crypto. I've told y'all that all the time. I hold everything too long. Hello, entropy. Onboarding fees plus COVID plus FTX was the perfect storm. Yeah, $5 plans and saves more. I will say, somebody like me who is into the cellular stuff, I will say, $5 plans was unsustainable. But again, I don't know what kind of deal Helium had with T-Mobile, but I keep saying 99% of y'all were just using T-Mobile anyway. And I know some of y'all, T-Mobile's simple and it's great where you're at, but in my area, T-Mobile sucks. T-Mobile has some kind of way that they will show full strength on a phone, and you can't make phone calls or receive phone calls. I'll call my buddy Chip. He has T-Mobile. I don't care if he's sitting in his office or he's outside or he's in his boat. It will call, ring twice, and just quit ringing. Period. And they got a couple other people, but almost everybody in my area has gotten away from T-Mobile. Other than the people who get pissed off at AT&T and Verizon and don't want to listen to you, that T-Mobile's even worse. Some places understand T-Mobile's great. I don't know. I thought helium, like what's next? You wonder, like, if every time you go to helium, are you going to see like the rug pull thing? It is. I guess it's time to do another helium video with all the train crashes in the front, right? The beginning of it. That was a pretty cool video. I had a lot of compliments on that video. Dude, helium is so far down on my Discord list. That shows you how often I go to it. I could tell you for a fact. Look, I'm even in Bobcat. Like, why am I still in the Bobcat Discord? Look, I'm still in the Vascon. Oh, look at all the I can tell you the last time I went to the Helium, the last time I went to the Helium Discord was when they were shutting down. I might be exaggerating, I might be dead on, but they were shutting down like 40,000 IoT miners in China because they knew they were all scamming. They weren't holding any tokens. Like as soon as they get the tokens, they'd sell them automatically, and they weren't providing any data. No benefit to the network, so they banned everything in China. And they said that's when they said the first time, oh, all the tokens are going to go all back. Oh, your pricing value is going to go, everything's going to go back up because we banned everything in China. We saw a little blip, and that was it. Then what about when we were buying, or Helium was buying all these tokens from this whale who kept dumping, and that was for sure gonna turn everything around in Helium because now this whale can't dump on us anymore. And what y'all bought him at? $2.75 a piece, if I'm not mistaken. $2.50 a piece, maybe. He's laughing his ass off. Hey, y'all can buy mine for $2.50, $2.75. That's great. You could also you could have one guy with a Helium shirt on, one guy with a Demo shirt, another guy with a Hive Mapper shirt. That's what y'all need to make. Somebody in those AI crap. You know who's been really quiet? And maybe y'all have seen him around, but even on our side, Helium Deploy has been awfully quiet. I don't know if it's just because there's nothing really new or they just recovering from partying over the holidays, but it seems like Helium Deploy has been very quiet lately. Like, I gotta go through what the hell am I even in? Space prediction markets, Frankie Candles, Terra Classic, SenseCap, Hot Spotty and Chill, Tectonic. Boy, I lost my ass off in Tectonic. Terra, Jupiter Podcast, Crank, Peak. Is XNet still doing stuff? I mean, XNet's are offloading AT&T and all the stuff like that. You see my blood pressure go up? Let's read some grass stuff. This is the final Epoch 15. Shut up, dude. It is not the final Epoch. They're not gonna give us rewards until that stupid device that they have to put out. It's like they had to have a wallet until they put this device out that they have to put out and probably make some profit on. You know, I'm not saying that because I don't know if Axe is even here, so I can say this, but like, you'll have to say, despite how some people might feel about it, whatever, Wingbits is only the legit project really putting a device out. They made zero profit off of that device. They told Hifix, even though Hifix might screwed the pooch on it, but they didn't make a dime off of where a lot of these other projects, they're making money off of their device. You want to bet Grass makes money off their device? Like, people, you have no idea what the hell you're making right now with Grass. That's what sucks too. And I think that's part of it also is you spread it out so long, it's hard to figure out what you're making per day, per point, per diamond. I told you I shouldn't have stopped here. Nadix. Jesus. Oh, guys. All right. Well, that was 36 minutes. What else? Let me see what else I can catch up on. Hey, don't leave Voscorn. I'm not leaving Voscorn. I still say Voscorn is what got me started from being a regular crypto person who was just losing crypto, who taught me how to lose in mining. but hey, I started GPU mining under him. I started ASIC mining under him, and like I knew about helium before he even got involved in it. But I watch his videos. I don't follow too much in this server, but because I just don't have time for Discord. Especially now having my own Discord and kicking bots out and stuff like that. But I'm not leaving. Anyone know how to claim the bonus token from 4D Sky they were offering earlier? I don't know anything about a 4D Sky thing, but listen, I will tell y'all that I got and I don't know if I even have a way of. So somebody sent me, let me see if I can, I'm trying to do it without embarrassing the hell out of them. Okay, I don't think y'all can see his name like this. So I got a DM from somebody saying, man, go check out this project. Go check this out. This is this online thing, and Mr. Beast is involved in it. And look, if you put in this code, if you join and put this code in, you got 2,500 tokens. And then he sends me this, that he was successful withdrawing $2,700 worth of tokens. And then supposedly shows me how he really did truly receive $2,700 in USDT. Now, I have DM'd this dude for 2 years going. Either he is about to get his wallet cleaned out if he really did go through all this stuff, or he got his account hacked. And I'm thinking he got his account hacked because I have responded to him several times, and he has not responded back. So, I even sent this to him, and maybe he's just sick to the stomach right now and can't respond to me. But basically, there's all these little goofy casinos websites, and they all about to say the same thing. They all got them same images, and Mr. Beast is supposedly part of it. And as a way, it was only available for this 1 hour, but it's going to be hidden after that. That's why you can't go find it right now on X. But you can still use the code for the next 10 days. And sure enough, when you go to it, you can, what happens is you use the code, because I verified it. Like I took a laptop on a separate network without no wallets on it, nothing like that. Separate network, an old laptop I had. So let me just see if this thing does. And it does show when you put that code in, congratulations, you activated the $2,500 token. You can withdraw it in Bitcoin, USDC, USDT, whatever like that. However, you have to put all your information in to verify yourself. And to verify that you are real, you need to pay a $50 or $60, whatever this thing says. Let's see. There's 2 or 3 of them that I found, but yeah, basically you got to pay like $50-$60. There's actually YouTube videos that actually show the same thing. Is you got to pay $50-$60 to verify, to show that you're real, that you have a real account, and then you verify yourself as congratulations, your account's open. You can now gamble. No, I want to withdraw. Oh, for withdrawal for our gas fees and to verify for the serious money that we're about to move, we need another $200. And what happens is, even if you try to pay the $60, it pulls out $200 out of your account because you have to use a debit credit card. You can't use crypto. So and the guy even shows you how he can go into the script, the guy on the YouTube. So look, I know I'm getting way off key here, but if I can just save one of y'all from this, or somebody watching this live later can this, any kind of stupid, goofy crap with this casino thing, this is what it looks like. And it's crazy because there's so many different casino names. And like I said, like if you try it, you'll win at first. You 100x that, routinely win $20,000, whatever. And of course, this guy says that he made withdrawals and it worked. Yeah, right. So, hey, that's my little PSA for today. Keep some of y'all like, I lose enough money in crypto. I don't need no help losing money in casinos. No, Odin, they don't ask for nothing crypto related at first. Like they ask you for a wallet, but to do the registration and stuff like that, to verify yourself, they want a credit or debit card. And like I said, and this guy in the video I watched showed where you can go and you can right click on the link and do the inspect. And it shows where it says they're trying to pull 60 out, but they're really going to pull 200 out or 300 out. Or it's a little bit different. They'll pull 60 out and say, okay, you can now go gamble. And then you got to pay 200 out. And when you go gamble, you're going to win big money. Like 100% chance you're going to win big money. And then they're going to say, hey, you've won so much money. We need to verify with a $200 fee. And then you have to pay with a debit card again. And that's when you get cleaned out. So, hey. Oh, no, it is the final epoch. The next is the final epoch 16, all the way up to Wingbits needs to do something before people start unplugging too. That's from 619. Remember when Helium gave Mr. Beast 10,000? No, I don't. I don't remember them giving Mr. Beast 10,000. They gave was it Crypto Hawk or Mr. Hawk or whatever his name was? Helium Hawk. Before he changed his name once or twice. So and everybody thinks he's the D-Pin god now. Which I mean, I have nothing against him. It's just that I've watched several of his videos and sometimes he says some wrong things and people hinge on everything he said because he made his name in the OG of D-Pin, Helium. So if he was the OG in Helium and stuck with it, then he knows everything. And again, if I saw the man tomorrow at a conference, I'd shake his hand. He was very successful at this game and he still is. But I don't hinge on every single word he says, and nobody should. I mean, sometimes people are just a little wrong, or they incorrect, or they, they just sometimes mistaken. It's not nothing wrong with it. Everybody is, but it is what it is. Once the air drone delivering grass cutters come online, I'll be getting good passive income then. Oh, then you do have me questioning the 4D Sky bonus token. I do remember something about that. Okay. I'm going to look into that. Look, I put my 4D Sky thing online and haven't touched it since then. I don't know what's really going on with it. I haven't. I mean, it seems like they got more stations coming online. It's 4D Sky. This is the stupidest button in the world. This stupid R button. Like, why would you rotate a map? Who made me go to this? Let me see. Well, they got a new map coming out, and I don't know why you have to have an R button. Do you need to look at your state from upside down? I don't know. Trying to remember how to get to the dash. Like, it shows you how much I go to this stuff. Like, I know it's online. How do I get to the dashboard of 4D Sky? I don't know. I mean, and it's like this, they got the local map. Last I knew, I wasn't even getting. Oh, yeah, I'm getting MLAT, but I think MLAT still comes over 1090, but I'm still not getting UAT, which is the second antenna that you spend another $150 on. So I don't know if I have MLAT turned off. Um, I don't know. I don't want to waste your time looking into all this stuff. Curious if my station in Grand Isle that I have FlightAware on, it was getting something that I had to triangulate. I don't know. There was a way you could see a table of all the stuff that it's receiving, but yeah, that's supposed to be the leader industry. Okay, whatever. What else? What else? There was like an offer 12 months worth of points for first 200 units. They gave him 10,000 like 3 or 4 months ago. Scammers never good mix. The UAT feature is a big feature they have over Wingbits. UAT is not active from their end. UAT second tenant becomes active in phase 3 for bonus 20%. Okay, and that's if a plane is transmitting UAT. Don't forget that part. Mm-hmm. So this says, this is FlightAware. That says, will you get UAT? Is it worth adding? This is FlightAware. This is not 40 Sky. If you're close within a small airport, like within 10 miles, you'll see UAT. Your bigger aircraft and airplanes aren't going to be messing with it. And that's what I've always been told. Now, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to phone a friend like this is. I know some of y'all don't realize it. The Millionaire Show. But I have a friend who's a pilot who flies planes. What is the current requirement for aircraft to have UAT? Question mark. We'll see if he answers. I'm curious. Last I knew it was small aircraft, older aircraft, whatever. Because if it's not that many, now another thing we don't know about is which drones going to settle on. Because you have some people say UAT 978. You have some people saying 1090. Nefarious drones will still make up their own frequency. You know, I am really trying to. Jorge makes a good point. I'm gonna pivot to this and come back. Jorge made a damn good point. If they don't make money on devices, they hit you with an NFT in order to participate in the project. So there are some projects like that Wingbits wasn't like that, but there are some projects like that look, I would say y'all could say what y'all want. I know some of y'all think I'm just a big Wingbits defender and stuff, but they're on the up and up. And you have to say, 2,000 DIY devices that we made ourselves. When they grandfathered us in, we weren't required to do anything. We weren't required to stake anything. We weren't required to buy a geo signer. They spent out of their own pocket the money for 2,000 GPS geo signers and sent them to us around the world. And then they came out with this other device so everything can be streamlined into the same type of device. And they didn't make a penny off of it. So that's Wingbits. Now, some of these other projects, they made their money. They made their money. I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know about the UAT. One thing I'm and let's again, I know I'm the Wingbits fanboy. But I don't want to get into this, which one's better than the other, because neither one of them are TGE, neither one of them are mainnet yet. And it's easy to say, look, I have 4D Sky. I was given the free station. I put it up. I did videos for them. Several of y'all bought those devices. And I will say again, I brought this up in the video earlier, that they've been selling out. I think they're on their 5th batch right now. Batch 6. That means 5 batches have sold out. And right now you have 46 remaining of 50 in batch 6. So 5 batches at this price have sold out. So listen, I'm not going to dismiss 4D Sky. I still question if they're ever going to get the size of Wingbits when they cost this much, and they better make a wow at TGE, because if they don't, it's a lot of pressure. Some of us in Wingbits have just DIY stations. Some people bought devices for $400, $500. You pay double for this one. And when this thing goes to TGE, if people ain't making profits and don't ROI in a reasonable amount of time, I'm not saying like within a month or 2, 6 months, 7 months. I don't know. I don't know if 4D Sky's talking about TGE at any point soon. Last I heard, it was supposed to be Q2 of this year. Whoever hits, nobody ever hits their original marks for TGE. I don't know if they're talking about it more, and y'all know more than I do. But I'm not going to get into this battle right now of who's going to be better and why they're going to be better. Wingbits has a huge head start right now. And, Wingbits has never said a negative thing at any point about 4D Sky. And in fact, they have said that they were good guys and had a good thing going. And 4D Sky was supposed to be kind of looking for the drone type stuff and different lower altitudes and all this different stuff like that, where Wingbits was saying, hey, we're looking for flight information. Some lower information, some lower, because they're giving us low altitude rewards and stuff like that. But, then you see 4D Sky slinging mud every now and then, and that turns me off. Look, people have already kind of bought their Wingbit stations. You slinging mud at this point. Look, D-Pin right now, we need everybody to make it. We need 4D Sky and Wingbits to make it, and Mass Chain. Because to me, Mass Chain is the same thing as 4D Sky or Wingbits on the water with a lot less range. We've been trying to help Mass Chain. It's different. We can do DIY stations, but there's sometimes I listen to them and I'm like, guys, just open y'all ears up. Y'all keep wanting to do stuff that people have. I said this in my video earlier, and I don't mean to regurgitate it, but Some of y'all didn't watch my video, I'm sure, this morning, but y'all trying to reinvent the wheel that's already been invented. Why don't you reach out to some of these people and say, hey, y'all try this, it did or didn't work. Can you tell us why? Whatever. Should we skip this and stuff like that? It's crazy. So let me see. What I want to go to is I want to compare something for these guys. Let's see if I can find it. 40s guy. So this is Wingbits. Every little blue dots is a station. Yes. Some might need to be in bigger hexes. Some might need bigger hexes. I'm not trying to poke fun at nobody. But this is some hell of a coverage. Especially when you put the planes on top. Right? They got redundant coverage, coverage on top of coverage. They got low altitude coverage. They got it covered. I don't know, maybe at some point Wingbits might need to put on here like, hey, we have X amount of stations. I don't know what's the total amount of stations right now. It's over 4,000 because we know they sold over 2,000 of the high fixed devices and they had over 2,000 or they had 2,000 DIY devices. So that's easily 4,000 right there, but I know it's more than that. I'm undercoding that by a lot, but just to be safe, because I don't know if I say I'm lying for them. Again, these are half the price. But again, you have 4,000, maybe 5,000 total devices versus 172. So 40 Sky, when they come up with another, 4,500 nodes, so we'll talk. But I will say, I'll give props to it. That station that 4D Sky has is a good station. I just have it still in its temporary location back here because the building top I wanted to put at still has no power. If y'all follow that in my video, I'm putting this probably on one of my building rooftops. But that station is a robust station. I find it does pick up a good amount for it only being. I got 2 of the fence link poles put together. That's 20 feet. At 20 feet high, it does pretty good compared to what 40 feet high on top of my ham tower, my Wingbits DIY station's getting, and that's with a good SDR on it with an amp and a filter. So their receiver is good, but it's $1,000. Look, some of y'all don't mind dropping $1,000 on a hope and a prayer, hoping this thing goes to TGE. Some of y'all realize that the odds are right now with D-Pin, it ain't going to turn out as good as we think it is, because let's look at the track history of the last couple of ones. And I don't mean that negative towards 4D Sky. They could do everything right. Mass Chain could do everything right. Hell, even Wingbits could do everything right. I don't know. You look at GeoNet, you look at HiveMapper, you're right. If you time that market perfectly, you made some damn good money. But if you're like grumpy and you're hard-headed, you held out too long and all those high numbers went away. Am I right? Am I wrong? I mean, let's all be honest here. We're all grown adults. I'm pretty sure the hex for 40 Sky is even smaller. I don't know. Odin says, I like the mapping 3D interface of 4D Sky better. It better seems to give away more information. But they're about to redo their whole map. So whatever this map is that you like right now, this is going away. Now, unless you played with their new map, I've seen images of it. Again, I haven't been in the Discord, so I don't know if they gave y'all a sneak peek and stuff. But this, they're supposed to be coming out with a completely new map. When you click on it, it's gonna be a completely different menu. I showed it in one of my videos. I think they had samples of it on their X or Discord or something like that. But they're about to redo that whole map. Does anybody else think that they need to rename their Discord to 4D Sky, or is it just me? Because I keep passing over and I never find it. This dude got 2 stations. That's a way to flex some money right there. I don't know. Mass chain. We'll see what happens with it. You know, $200, you can get a DIY station online. My next project probably this week when I get paid is I'm probably gonna buy a La Potato or sweet potato board and put mass chain on that, and I'm gonna put that station in Baton Rouge. Because I want to reuse that pod that I did a video last week on installing mass chain on a pod. Actually, I did 2 videos. Some of y'all were very surprised. I actually did a video another 10 minutes. They probably thought I had a stroke or something. But I wanted to use that pod for something else. So I'm gonna get a La Potato. You know, I bought a Pi 4, and it was one of the smaller ones. It was still like $65-$70 on Amazon. I bought a Pi 5 for something at work. It was $120, $130. That's ridiculously stupid. Now, it had a little more RAM in it, don't get me wrong, but still, you can still get, you know, a sweet potato. Let's see. I'll look up sweet potato and I'll come up with sweet potatoes. I guess that would be common sense. Damn, see, even sweet potatoes went up though. I did have to return one because my Ethernet port went out. Oh, it's got a PoE hat too. For $45, you can get a PoE hat with a sweet potato for $55. Where I just bought a Pi 4 with that PoE hat for $65 plus another $35 for the PoE hat, and that wasn't even a Raspberry Pi; it was an off-brand. So that was $100. So for almost half the price, you get a La Potato for mass chain. Then you get the RTL SDR, some feedline, and a marine antenna. Could try orange pods. I've never messed with them. I know for I've been using some pods. The pods I'm buying are for mass, too many M's, mesh core and mesh-tastic nodes and repeaters. And I know they tell me they use them like zero pods with them. And that's another thing I've never put my hands on, is zero pods. I've always used the boards out of helium devices because I had so many of them. And it's been successful. Like the star tracking D-pin one better you showed here. Are you in that? You know, my project, my new project guru is no longer around. He's no longer with us. But that was Who Fought It, man. Who Fought It, you would find these projects. And, you know, he was about 50-50, 60-40. He found them all. Let's be honest. He would put them in the Discord and I'd look into them and stuff. And some were just corny as hell. And some were legit. He found, if I'm not mistaken, he found Mass Chain 6 months ago when it was still called Worldwide AIS or Worldwide something. He found that one. He found the Star one. He found, I'm pretty sure he found, what the hell was it? CapturGO. I don't know where he found it. I don't know where he had the sources at, but I'll give people props. Like, I don't like taking people's ideas or taking credit. Like, he found them, and then I kind of looked into them from there and decided if I was going to discuss it, bring it to y'all or not. Tear one down again. And I hope he gets over whatever is bothering him and comes back to the Discord and to the YouTube, because he brought some good knowledge. You know, it is what it is. I've reached out to him occasionally on Discord, check on him every now and then. Sometimes he answers, sometimes he don't. But he you know, generally he's a good dude. I got nothing negative to say. Tell y'all, sometimes you just can't let stuff bother y'all. I'm gonna live my life the best I can do, the best for me, the best for my family, and I'm gonna worry about what I can control and not worry about what I can't control. And that's just me. And I try to tell y'all that. Y'all can let it go in one ear and come out the other ear and hit the wall, or take it, you know, for what it is. And everything else is in God's hands. That's it. Definitely not gonna sit there and get bothered with stuff on the news. But what star? I think we talked about two different star projects. One of them had the camera that had the globe, and it was a little bitty camera that looked up, and that one seemed a little cheesy because I'm like, me who deals with cameras all day, especially at night, I don't know, this little camera that stuck out that was like this big. I just don't know what kind of picture that would be taken. Is that the one you're in? And don't forget, and I don't know where you're from, Odin, but just remember, you don't necessarily have to live at the coast. You look at where some of these people live at. You know, they're in the middle of the United States. And as long as you're picking up something in these hexes, whoever's picking up these hexes is going to get paid the same thing Grumpy is getting paid for these hexes. Now, if I have a higher station that's picking up 7 or 8 hexes, then I'm going to get more. But, you know, if I have something in my attic and I'm only picking up, say, 3, I think these are hex 5s. And whoever lives up here gets 5 hexes, we're getting paid the same. So, hey, you know, if you can capture all this and you got a buddy with a boat with AIS, tell him to go drive up and down the river a couple of times. I don't, you know, I don't know how long that model's going to stay for, but I mean, you have, look, Arizona right here has got it. I don't know how well y'all can see that. See if I can blow it up a little bit. I mean, this comes pretty far inland. Again, Mississippi River goes all the way up. It all depends where you live at. Kansas City. Muskogee. Guess that's Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma. Arkansas. Tennessee. I mean, look, they know we're close to the ocean. They got ships all up in here. Oh, Egypt. Was it Suez Canal or something? I don't know. I mean, look at all this. So just because you're not necessarily next to big bodies of water, this is marinetraffic.com if y'all want to, check it out. There's the map. Knock yourself out. I'll put it in the chat. I don't know what the requirements are for AIS. My buddy still ain't answering me about the AIS thing. I mean, about the UAT thing. He likes a good bourbon too, so he might be home tonight in a good bourbon. He's gonna shit. And how many other lives do y'all go to that do this kind of crap? And then I have my troll say I'm elitist, like I'm above everybody. Like I'm the most down to earth live that you're gonna find. I want to know what the requirements are. Requirements for AIS. Let's take a look. Google says AIS requirements mandate Class A transponders on large commercial vessels. Is that 300 gross tons plus international 500 gross tons? Is that what GT stands for? All personal passenger ships and specific U.S. commercial vessels like those over 65 feet or 150 passengers under SOLAS regulations. So international says all passenger ships, regardless of size, ships of 300 gross tons and upwards. Cargo ships of 500 gross tons. United States is self-propelled vessels 65 feet or more in commercial service, towing vessels, self-propelled vessels that carry more than 150, commercial. So like that's even like ferries and stuff. If you have a ferry that crosses a river from one side to the other, there you go. If you helped y'all out some. Yeah. I know as soon as I get off this live, this dude's gonna answer me back. He is in Wingbits also, just to let y'all know. He has a station right by the local regional airport that he flies in and out of. So he was quite upset when Wingbits went to the mapping of the airports and his airport wasn't on there. So sorry, man. You're gonna get more flights in and out of there to make the top 500. So average range of the unit. VHF is all about height and antenna. The normal VHF marine antenna is 8 foot. That's Shakespeare. VHF's long banded. You get it up above some rooftops and stuff like that, get some height to it. You can get 30, 40 miles out of it, 20 miles out of it, 20, 30 miles out of it. It is Trying to find, there was a map. I shared it and I can't find it now. Of hex resolutions. Of course, I can't find it. That'll be another thing I find as soon as I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I would say, depending on your height, if you can get some good height on it, you know, 25, 30 miles. Trying to think. Let's take a look. I'm still playing with my numbers. I put that LNA on it, that amp on it, for AIS, specifically made for AIS. I don't think I'm helping. I've been playing with the different gains and stuff like that. Like I was getting further north in this. I was getting more ships down here. But this is Homa, Grand Isle. This is Point La Point La Hash. Great speckled trout fishing. Used to fish a lot back here. So let's take a map. So right here is where I have a Wingbit station at. That's my buddy's got a building right here. There's a bridge that crosses the river. And then Pony Lahash and Homa. So we can use that as guides. So 28 miles that way. Point Lahash is 50 miles as the crow flies that way. Homa is 32 miles that way. And you got one or two around Leeville that was 50 miles. So I guess depending on where, this direction, this is all marsh and water. So there's not much blocking it, where this direction is more stuff to block it. Trees, levees. You got 30-foot levees along this river. So it's got to cross the levee here, cross the levee here, cross the levee here. So, and then you got trees along the levee, the Mississippi River. So, and this antenna's up there. This is up there. So don't think you're gonna get this unless you're putting an antenna 300 something feet high. All right, I'm back. I don't know. OBS. Maybe I need to go pay my cable internet bill. It reconnected and I have a great signal now. Anyway, where we were at. So what I was saying, I don't know how much y'all heard me, but don't expect this kind of stuff unless you're getting 300 feet high, 300 feet above the terrain, maybe. trees and stuff. That's where this one is. Luckily, my buddy who has a tower, he had an old VHF that was still up there. Everybody's abandoning that VHF stuff for 700-800 megahertz radio systems and stuff. So as long as somebody wants VHF, I'm good. As soon as somebody wants a VHF, I'm out. But what's good about it is if y'all do have the opportunity to put something 100 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet, 150 feet, it's not like helium where you have, or Wingbits, where you have to worry about the amount of loss in feed line, because VHF is nowhere as lossy, if that's the word, that 1000 megahertz is. So while you don't want to go use 50 feet of little thin feed line, chances are for 30, 40 feet, LMR 400 will work just fine. This one has, I think it's like 1.5 inch feed line at 350, 400 feet. So that's one good thing if you want to get mass chain. Y'all make sure you hit the like button before you go out. It's 8:30. So anything? Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's one thing is the difference between that and either 4D Sky or Wingbits is that you do have, with 4D Sky Wingbits, you're getting 40,000 feet in the air. So you're at, from the ground where your antenna is, you have a long way you can look, 200 miles. Where with this, you're trying to get ships that are at sea level. So sometimes that's below where your antenna is, 30, 40 miles away. What's good for me is I can go out my front door right here and look to the left. Maybe one day I'll show you on the video, but I walk out my front door, look to the left, and I see the Mississippi River levee right there. And it's the freakiest thing in the world. We have levees that hold the river in. Water might be 10 feet up the levee. So when you see these big ships come down the river, these freighters and stuff like that, they're higher than your house. Like the bottom of it's like higher than your house. It's freaky. But yeah, I mean, I literally live a mile and a half away from Mississippi River. I can see it. So there's a lot of shipping that comes in and out of there. Y'all just saw the map. So it worked out for me. I tried messing with AIS years ago and couldn't really get it. This was a lot easier, and you might make a couple of pennies off of it. Massive mountain range to go over and pick up any boats. Terrible part of my, yeah. Quake Core, I'm telling you, man, Quake Core, I was hard-headed and I missed out on Quake Core. Let's see. For 619, I mean, I got to tell you, I've been to California a couple of times for week-long conferences, never felt the earthquake, and I'm not in a rush to ever do one. See, Louisiana does have earthquakes. It was either that or the 18-wheeler rumbling down the road, but see that you can live 50 years in Louisiana and still have no idea where the hell Powhatan, Louisiana is. That's gotta be, it's an Indian name. That's not a Cajun Creole coon ass name. That's for sure. Edgefield, Louisiana. You could pay me $1,000 to point out on the map where Edgefield, Louisiana is, and I would say it's right there. It's right there. Pleasant Hill. Well, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We know what the hell that was. Tuscaloosa was everybody going crazy when Alabama lost in the college playoffs. We know what that was. But yeah, I knew there'd been a couple of earthquakes in Louisiana. I mean, not my soft sand, stuff like that, but there is a old, what do you call it? Line whatever it is that comes through here. I remember them old timers telling us about it and stuff like that. Earthquakes updated. Uh-oh. But yeah, I'd go to these conferences with these guys from California and would be in Baltimore, and they're like just looking at their phone. It's like another earthquake, another earthquake. I'm like, man, how do y'all? You know, I'm old enough to remember the one they had in San Francisco during the World Series and screwed up everything. Yes, I am planning on doing not going overboard on it because I learned from Wingbits. I don't think I need 18 stations. But just to kind of close the gap, as soon as I know that internet is restored, I'm hoping it's this week in Baton Rouge if I'm not going hunting all weekend because the whitetail are in a rut and then you don't miss, around here, hunters, we plan everything out around the rut. If y'all know what that is, you'll have to Google it. So this weekend, I might be doing a 3-day weekend in Mississippi where my hunting lease is. I got a buddy that wants me to hook up a Wingbit station in this area because there's nothing around there, but it's got a lot of trees, and I'm sick of putting up host stations that don't do nothing. But anyway, with mass chain, so yeah, so right here on top of a building, I think it could be 400 feet up, about half of that. So I'm hoping I can get from here to here. I'm hoping. Then this spring, my buddy's gonna let me put one on his fishing camp right here, where I also have my Wingbit station at. And this is wide open. So this will be on the Gulf, wide open, nothing blocking it. Hopefully I can get all the way over here. And then therefore Grumpy will be the Gestapo godfather of the lower Mississippi. That's a lot to put on the hat. I know. But I'll have at least the lower Mississippi River covered. I do have capability for hunt lease right here, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll mess with that yet. I also have access. I didn't even think about this. I'm glad y'all brought it up. Good job, guys. See, I thought there was something around here. This is the Pearl River. This is the Bogue Chetta is what it's called. I don't have any names on it. You think it would have names on it, huh? Bogue, Bogue, Chetta. Yeah. And then one thing I did want to share with y'all also before I cut out is before we start talking about Hubig's pies. I wanted to share this with y'all also. We always talk about right before we leave, we talk about the Hubig's pies that people buy. Some of y'all were buying them, but I want to show y'all the real reason why. Listen, I can diet during Thanksgiving and Christmas like some people, but I cannot diet through Mardi Gras season. It is Mardi Gras season now that we hit King's Day, all King's Day, whatever it is, King's Day. From King's Day to Ash Wednesday, we're in Mardi Gras. And what's the one thing that we have for Mardi Gras is we have king cakes. And this is the king cake that somebody picked up from my wife, and I told her that I got kidnapped, and somebody ate a slice out of it before it even got to the house. This is like this is my devil. This is like just the smell of it, just to look at it right now. My stomach is literally growling looking at this thing. That's how crazy this is. King cake, Manny Randazzo's. Um, think of a big, gigantic cinnamon bun with icing on top, and it's stupid. I've always wanted to give one away to somebody, but they're stupid. They're like, these in the store cost about 15, 16 bucks, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but to get one shipped, and the one you saw, it's already sold out already, $72 to get it shipped. That's the medium one. The large one's $119. This is where their money's at, because you have to order this thing well in advance. I mean, they're sold out already. You can't even order them, and we still have another month and a half until for Mardi Gras. Shipping is filled. So so for anybody who got hungry looking at that, I apologize. Um, my backup when I need one shipped to somebody. I know somebody's gonna stumble across my live right now and wonder when the hell they got to the cooking channel. Randazzo's. It is a huge family thing breakup, and it's like lore around New Orleans of what happened to the Randazzo family, how they all broke up, and this brother and this sister and this nephew and this niece all broke up because Randazzo's was like the biggest. That and Haydell's was the biggest king cake name when you grew up, and some people got to keep the name, some people got to keep the recipe. Like, it was a huge lawsuit. Crazy. So this is honestly probably my favorite. This is where closer to where I grew up at. It's in Slidell. If you've heard me talk about it before, but the prices are a little bit better. Cream cheese, you got some cream cheese middle. I'm not a cream cheese person, but damn. Like, I'm going to Slidell later this week to bring my fantasy football trophy because I was unsuccessful in keeping it. And I have to bring it to the guy who won. And my fantasy football team is based out of Slidell because that's where we went to high school at. Me and my buddies, as a way to stick together. We all play football together at the high school in Slidell, not Slidell High School, but one of the high schools. And we get together beginning of the NFL season for a draft. We get together, shoot stuff and stuff like that. And then at the end of the season, I got to bring the trophy back. And while I'm there, I will stop at Randazzo's and pick me up a king cake. And again, they're only about $15 or $18 compared to what you see here. But this is my guilty pleasure for. And look, I'm telling you right now, you put this in front of me on a Saturday, I'll eat the whole thing. I don't care. I'm not too proud to say that, dude. It's crazy. Um, Listen, I don't know if let me see. Um, y'all ready for this? This is the line every morning because they only bake a certain amount and then they're done. This is the line every morning to get a Randazzo king cake. Is this stupid? This is stupid. So my sister-in-law goes and she'll pick up, we have somebody lives around the corner and she'll go and pick up because there's no limit. And she'll go pick up 20 of them, charge an extra dollar or two. Sometimes she don't charge. I'm told her, girl, you could double it and make money off this. But you got to go over there, pick them. They don't sell them in the stores and stuff like that. You have to go over there to Metairie and pick up this. And it's just, it's stupid. I mean, this is, look at these people. Like, this is crazy. king cake, Mardi Gras. Y'all know I try to do videos. I'll probably be in New Orleans again for Mardi Gras this year, working or something like that. I try to get some videos of some good of the big, real kind of big Mardi Gras parades. And then we have some locally right here that I usually for work. I ride in the one on Saturday, and I usually film the whole thing during live. It's through a neighborhood, so it's a lot smaller scale. But you get to see and you get to see people yell at me, and then sometimes I have to hurry up and mute the microphone so I don't hear the stuff people say. You know, you got friends that drink and stuff like that while in the parade route. The MF's flying. I'm like, dude, you're gonna kill my YouTube channel. You can't be saying all that. And then Sunday, we had a big one in the town where we work at, and sometimes I try to film some of that. And then for the weekend, I'll go into New Orleans where the big three parades, they call it the big three, Endymion, Bacchus, and then whatever's on Fat Tuesday. And I try to sneak to the route while I'm working down there, usually with the state guys and stuff, and I will, snap some good parade videos and stuff and make a little video for y'all too. So Mardi Gras. I've always joked when I used to do Uber and Lyft and stuff like that. I used to joke that, people from New Orleans, we evacuate twice a year. We evacuate for hurricanes and Mardi Gras, because you would be surprised how many people evacuate for Mardi Gras and get the hell out of town. When I was younger, the big thing was always going to Disney World, because Disney World would be empty. If it wasn't President's Weekend and you'd go down and you see all your neighbors and your friends from school and your friends from work and stuff like that, Disney World was empty during Mardi Gras. Well, that secret has been over with for 10 years now. And it's just as packed during Mardi Gras now than it is for, the summertime and stuff. But like Endymion's one of the biggest, nicest parades they got. They finished inside the New Orleans Superdome, which is where the Saints play. I think it's the Mercedes-Benz Superdome now and stuff. But you can see this is like they bring this is like a carnival ball. People in tuxedos and the women in dresses and get all fancy and stuff like that. And they roll through the freaking Superdome with tables and stuff. It's crazy. Mardi Gras is crazy. But I've always said, when I grew up, my mom would yank me out the house at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, because we had to get to St. Charles Avenue so early. And by the time the parade finally came at 10 o'clock, you were so done with it and tired and exhausted. You didn't want to do the parade. And I always said I would never bring my kids to that, and I didn't. And now that they're older, I regret not bringing them at least once or twice to enjoy those times. So, yep. I'm gonna tell you though, I walked those parade routes last year with Chirp KAGE. That was back when you were getting the Bluetooths and the Wi-Fi, and you were getting points for all that. They weren't doing this stupid beacon thing. And I cleaned house, because everybody's got a phone on them, sometimes two phones. And you look at the Chirp KAGE. I did videos on it. You can go see it. But Chirp KAGE couldn't keep up with the amount of Bluetooths and stuff like that. And then we were on top of some buildings. We had to go fly some drone stuff. There was a shooting on Bourbon Street, and we had to go to that. And just the Chirp KAGE was just, it was crazy. Crazy times. Oh, Odin said, man, that's crazy. It's being sold out at those prices. That's almost as bad as 4D Sky, huh? All right. All right, guys. Yeah, fault line. Thank you, B13SR. Fault line. It was a fault line. Thank you. Again, we don't have earthquakes around here, man. You gotta, we have hurricanes with the occasional flooding and tornadoes. The hunting lease where I was over the weekend, they got 13 inches of rain in about 12 or 13 hours. Roads were flooded. If you didn't have a truck with four-wheel drive, you weren't getting around there. But even that, the guys getting stuck. So basically, it was four-wheeler only. But it needed it. And it's funny how it didn't flood that much worse, because there had been no rain for months around there, and that ground soaked it all up. 2 days later, you couldn't even tell it flooded. That's how much, other than one or two of the rivers. But it's been crazy. So I appreciate everybody. I have not eaten yet. I was trying not to eat in front of y'all since my troll, wherever he's at, I know he's watching. He hates me so much, but I guarantee he's watching. So hi, troll. You know, he said I was an elitist, and I'm like, dude, where do you get that from? You know, I don't know. Try not to let that stuff bother me too much and give him credit, but a part of me feels I have to defend myself because he's just outright lies. But you know, it is what it is. I ain't losing sleep over it, but it is what it is. So I thank everybody for watching. It was a good hour and 45 minutes. And keep your chin up. Hopefully we watching, you know, some of this crypto turnaround. We'll do one last little zoom. You know, Solana goes back to 130. Be time for me to buy some more. We've had a little bit of a pullback. That tiny bit, not much. We're up to 148. Now we at 146. So now I needed to fall back down here so I can buy some more. Bitcoin's kind of going, you know. I was watching Tyler earlier, and Tyler, you know, he was showing how, you know, you come all the way back here. It's slowly rising again. I don't know, guys. Part of me fears that when you start going straight up like this, it corrects. And this is a very stiff line, no pun intended. But looks like Bitcoin took Viagra and Cialis. So $91,95,000. Hey, we'll see. We'll see if the news brings. We'll see what happens with crypto, and you know, depending on where you bought at. Some tokens, I haven't looked at all the rest of the tokens, but you know, my motto is take some profits. That's like this with that Solana. I bought it at 131, 132, somewhere around there. It got to 144 earlier, 145, sold it. You know, and I don't want to lie to y'all. I think it was like $7 per token. And I had between no, it was more than that. It was almost $10 per token. And I have about between 7 and 8 tokens, and I made about, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 bucks. I can't remember. I am very bad at that. I am very bad. I have a buddy that he can tell you 2 years ago what he bought Solana at and what his average cost is, even though he DCAs. He can tell you all that. I am horrible with that. I am horrible. So I don't know what I make. I just know that, hey, I bought somewhere right here and I'm selling it right here, so I must be up. And then I'll do it again, and I'll do it again, and I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. Now, problem with me is I sold about, because the way I saw it going up this time, I sold about 80% of the Solana to take profit, keeping the USDC. The other 20%, I kept it in there just in case that Solana keeps going up. I don't know. We'll see. All right, boys and girls, thank y'all. Look, I appreciate all the support. I know things are slow right now, and I'll try to do some more videos and trying to keep everybody entertained. You know, stick around in the Discords, see what's going on with the projects, and hopefully we get some good news soon from all these projects. So I appreciate it. Thank y'all. And see y'all Thursday. Don't forget, we'll be back Thursday night with another live, hopefully with some new